All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to more 428 Shibuya Scramble. My name is Raven from the Sky. Let's continue. Probably he was headed to Indo Electronics. It was the only local place he could think of that might buy a second-hand computer. Damn, the guy had led him on a wild goose chase. Minokara started running towards Dogenzaka. As he approached the scramble outside the station, he caught sight of a skinny figure disappearing into the throng along Center Guy, a suit with deep bluish stripes. There was only one man he knew who dressed like that. But why was he heading down Center Guy and not toward Dogenzaka? Oh, now he remembered. There was a second-hand knick-knack shop near where the Burning Hammer demo had been held. He recalled seeing a poster out front that read, "We buy computers at top prices." Okay, see, the last choice, I went straight to the shop instead of heading here. Since we headed to the other place, maybe that give Miku time to show up. Because we got that bad ending because someone didn't show up. Well, actually, the bad ending on Maria's end because she didn't show up. There you are, Nagashita. Minokara burst into the shop on Center Guy. Okay, we've already saw this. He's not going to buy the computer without a charger. Oh my God, man. He won't give it up. Lit up as he saw who it was. Oh, Miku stood in the doorway on the verge of tears. "Mr. Minokara," she began. Then her voice choked up. "Miku? What was the matter? Is something wrong?" I... Miku drew in close to Minokara's side. Huh? Nagashita's gaze darted back and forth between Minokara and Miku. "You two know each other?" "Sort of. More to the point, is she the girl you said you were in love with?" Oh, that's right. The one and only Miku. I have her entrance music set as my ringtone. Paying no heed to Nagashita's excitement, Miku kept her eyes fixed on Minokara. I lost. To a girl who knows Aiki Jujitsu. I lost. She buried her face in Minokara's chest. Nagashita let out a gasp. What's this about? What is this all about? He seemed on the verge of a panic. "Mr. Minokara, I need to learn Aiki Jujitsu. I feel so ashamed." She buried her face even deeper into Minokara's chest. That's unfair! With tears in his eyes, Nagashita darted out the door. Minokawa glared after the pathetic fellow as he scampered off. The guy sure knows how to take advantage of a bad situation. I'll give him that. I can't let him get away. I'm gonna catch him and hand him over to the police. Anyhow, I'm just glad I got my partner back. Ordinarily, he'd be inclined to pursue Nagashita and subject him to a tirade at the very least, but there was no time for that now. He explained the situation to the shopkeeper, who flashed a sympathetic smile. Ah, is that so? Lucky for you, he screwed up. Then, much as I'm happy to do business, I just can't buy a computer that doesn't come with its accessories. So you'd have bought it from him if he had the accessories? Of course. Stolen or not, it's all the same once I've sold it. The shopkeeper chuckled unapologetically. Heh, I suppose that's true. Minokawa laughed along with him. Yeah, all the same. Like hell it is, he roared. The shopkeeper froze like a startled rabbit. I bet everything you have for sale here has been stolen, hasn't it? Don't be ridiculous. I'll warn you up front, there's no use hiding things from me. I've interviewed you, after all, I know you. The shopkeeper was getting more and more flustered. Well, I mean, look, this is just you and me, okay? Just between you and me. Sometimes I go around gathering stuff that people have lost and I sell it here. But it's not stolen, just repurposed. There's nothing wrong with that, right? The shopkeeper smiled integratedly. You moron! Minokawa stuck his finger in the man's face. Selling lost property is a serious crime too. A potential violation of Article 254 of the Penal Code of Japan regarding embezzlement of lost property, which states a person who embezzles lost property, drift property, or any other property which belongs to another person and is no one's possession shall be punished by imprisonment with work for not more than 1 year, a fine of not more than 100,000 yen, or petty fine. It is? Well, I mean, I guess I sort of figured it might be sometimes. Well, I'm not the police. I'm more into curiosity than legality. In fact, I find this all pretty fascinating. I mean, what sort of things have you gathered up for sale? Well, let me see. Like this and that, and that and that. The man pointed to various items on his shelves. And also this and that and that and that and that and that, I guess. Minokawa's eyes were directed all over the shop. Oh my god. Everything the shopkeeper had pointed out had a hefty price tag. Are you actually able to sell things like this? Minokawa asked. Sure, I can sell stuff. Earlier today, someone bought a big necklace. I listed it for 40,000 yen, but I discounted down to 30,000. And you can still make a profit, even offering discounts. Sure, I mean, it was just something I found lying on the ground after all. Haha. Minokawa looked back at him, and for a moment, he laughed as well. Then his face turned hard. This is no laughing matter, he bellowed. You need to stop what you're doing here right away. Otherwise, you're going to find out what it's like to get punished by my pen of justice. I'm so sorry. The shopkeeper bowed repeatedly. Minokawa glared. The truth was that right now he was so busy he'd have to let this guy slide. Still, this whole asinine affair had eaten up a big chunk of time he didn't have to waste. He was going to have to finish up his copy back at the editing office. Laptop in hand, he left the shop, only to stop short when a slight figure stepped out in front of him. Mr. Minokawa, Miku stood there barring his path. Please, introduce me to a dojo where I can learn Aiki Jujitsu. I'm sorry. I really don't have time for this right now. Minokawa tried to hurry onward, but she stubbornly refused to let him pass. You introduced me to that other dojo before, remember? I suppose so, now that you mention it. He tried to slip by her on her right-hand side, but she was quick to block him. Oh no. You're the one who introduced me to the world of martial arts, Mr. Minokawa. Well, yes. You know, you're putting me in a bit of a bind here. Trying to slip by her on her left was a no-go, too. She can anticipate his every move. Please, just hear me out, Miku said. She was speaking through quiet sobs now. I can't stand to leave things like this. She looked at Minokawa right in the eye. Sorry, you'll just have to persevere until you're able to win again. You'll just have to persevere. This is a good opportunity for you. You can find something to do with yourself that isn't martial arts. I'm sorry, but I really don't have the time to have this discussion right now. Dang it, man! That isn't martial arts. What? You were the champion at that one pub, right? Maybe now that you're done with that, you should find a more girlish line of work instead. Miku began to tremble. Whoop! Ha ha ha! You jerk! Miku delivered a blindingly fast slap to Minokawa's cheek. Why'd you have to put it like that? You're so mean. Bursting into tears, Miku ran off. Hey, Miku! She gave no sign she'd heard him and didn't turn around. Minokawa rubbed his cheek. It stung. For once, he actually regretted what he'd said. Maybe he shouldn't have assumed she'd be willing to just give up her hobby. He did in fact know of several Aiki Jiu-Jitsu dojo. Oh shoot. If only he had the time, he could have introduced her easily enough. He saw he only had 30 minutes and change until 4 o'clock. There was no more wiggle room at this point. These articles need to get written and fast. He needed to get back to the editing department. And yet, oh damn, it all to hell. I can't get the work done like this. Minokawa broke into a run. But he didn't run for Heaven Publishing. Instead, he went after Miku. Keep out. Oh, so that was the right thing to say? Yep, it was. Thinking about the case, huh? Because remember, I had a bad ending with Maria. I've never truly trusted anyone, not on a fundamental level. Human beings are a type of organism that I can't get a true handle on through mere surface interactions. And the very fact that I have never trusted anyone else means that inevitably no one else has ever trusted me. In the end, maybe the root of all of my problems can be traced back to my heart. As he waited for Minokawa to contact him, Osawa thought about his current crisis. Assuming Tanaka was behind the kidnapping, then he must have accomplices. And these criminals had mistakenly abducted Maria in their attempt to get to the antiviral drug that was in Hitomi's blood. Maria and Hitomi were fraternal twins, but they looked similar enough to be mistaken for identical twins. Still, Tanaka would never confuse the two. The mix-up must have been made by some criminal who didn't know Maria or Hitomi personally. Insisting that Hitomi bring the ransom to the train station was obviously their solution. It had set her up for a second abduction. But piecing together this much of the kidnapper's plan only raised a different question. Why had Tanaka shown him those emails from Hitomi? Wouldn't the criminals want to keep information like that hidden? The more Osawa thought about things, the less they made sense. Just who are my true allies, and who are my foes? Mr. Osawa, a delivery has arrived for you. It was Kajiwara at the study door. Come in. Kajiwara stepped into the room and handed Osawa a letter-sized envelope. Osawa checked the label. Kaming, the official Ayakami fan club membership application enclosed. Requires a 1,000 yen initiation fee and yearly dues of 3,000 yen. Membership grants several perks, including the opportunity to reserve concert tickets in advance of the general public. Osawa is fond of the members-only website content, which includes Kamiki's blog and exclusive videos. Right. He had requested the application the day he'd gotten back from overseas. Would you mind opening that? Kajiwara asked apologetically. What for? I'd just like to check the contents of any package you received today, sir. It's possible the kidnapper may try to make contact you by mail. Osawa opened the envelope. Inside he found the expected application along with several postcards featuring pictures of the singer. Kajiwara peered pointedly at the postcard images. You must really like her, the detective said. And just what sort of music do you listen to then? Osawa asked, staring at one of the postcards. It was a striking photo that showed off Kamiki's expressive eyes. Let me think. Mostly classical. Osawa raised a quizzical eyebrow. You know, Kajiwara continued, like Mozart, Chopin, and the like. Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, 1756 through 1791. Austrian-born music prodigy and classical composer. Famous works include The Mirage of Figaro, The Magic Flute, and Symphony No. 41, known as the Jupiter Symphony. Chopin. Frédéric Francois Chopin, 1810 through 1849. Composer and pianist of the early Romantic era. Famed as a national musician of Poland, left behind numerous solo piano works. Famous works include his Nocturne, Operation 9, No. 2, and his Piano Sonata No. 2. He hummed a few bars. Can't say I've ever heard of them. Are you serious? Kajiwara looked shocked. I'm familiar with the names, of course. I just never heard much of the music. Oh, that's such a shame. Would you care to listen to a piece now? I suppose I may as well. Now that he brought it up, Osawa was curious to know what sort of music Kajiwara enjoyed. No thank you. Right now, Osawa preferred silence to unfamiliar music. I see. How about something like this then? The detective pulled the digital music player out of his pocket. Here you go. Dubiously, Osawa slipped the attached earbuds into his ears. He heard the gentle sound of surf. The simple rhythm of waves crashing and receding drew him in. He listened with unexpected pleasure. The time went by, comfortably, as if he were standing alone on some remote beach. He took a deep breath and expelled it through his nostrils. Felt as if the toxic gloom had filled him with departing with the air. Before he knew it, nearly 10 minutes had passed. What do you think? It's quite nice. I listen to this a lot when I can't sleep. Even Kajiwara's voice sounded somewhat soothing to Osawa now. Thank you, detective. I've forgotten what it's like to feel this way. He spoke key words unthinkingly, with unaccustomed frankness. I guess they meant he spoke the words. I'm very happy to hear that, sir. A digital typo. Osawa gazed at one of the postcards as he gave his body over the sound of the roaring sea. Aya was scooping up handfuls of mystical blue sand. The grains dripped down from her fingertips. I feel like I could be in this photo here, Osawa muttered. Like I've lived my life letting so many things slip through my fingers. Kajiwara thought for a moment before responding. I think anyone who's worked hard to accomplish something and focused for a long time on that one thing is susceptible to those kind of feelings. Accomplishing something means getting results. That's not where my problem is. Osawa removed the headphones and gave back the music player. You told me not to hide things from you, right? Kajiwara nodded silently. Now allow me to speak frankly. Leaning back heavily in his chair, Osawa took another deep, slow breath. I'm anxious. So anxious that it's almost crushing me. Given the circumstances, sir, that's completely understand. No, Osawa spoke up before Kajiwara could finish. It's not that. It's not that at all. He shook his head vigorously. If the worst should happen to my daughter, how am I going to feel, I wonder? I'm not a man with a wide range of emotions. My heart is always cold somehow, and the truth, I've wanted it to be that way, which is why, if I do lose my daughter, my heart might remain unmoved. I may not even be able to feel a father's sorrow. That's what I'm anxious about. He felt his emotions twist inside him in a way that was utterly confusing. For perhaps the first time in his life, he realized how fickle a thing the human heart could be. It's all right, sir. Kajiwara flashed him a carefree smile. What's all right? People who really have cold hearts don't worry about that sort of thing. The detective held out his music player again. Here, I'd like you to have this. Please give it another listen if you like. I think it might help you calm your nerves. Osawa took the offered device. He had dared to open up to Kajiwara just a little, and to his own surprise, he felt grateful for it. And how about one of these as well? The detective produced a banana from his pocket. I'm fine, thanks. Are you sure? Oh, alright, I guess I'll take it. Osawa spoke irritably, and his expression softened a little. You've been getting on my nerves all day. Really? And here I thought I'd be doing what I could to soothe your spirits, Mr. Osawa. It's actually been a real long time since I've yelled at anyone quite so much. As the words left his lips, Osawa found himself thinking back to one particular rainy day. Maria had been in the 5th grade at the time. Osawa was standing in his daughter's room. In his hands he held the letter she'd left behind. He happened to glance out the window and saw Maria walking along soaked from head to toe. In an instant, Osawa was consumed with rage. Maria had left a note. It read, "Dad, you only pay attention to Hitomi. You're too busy with work to play with me, so I'm running away from home." Struck by an impulse he didn't quite understand, he ran from the room heading for the front door. Maria had just gotten back inside. Osawa met her silently in the entryway. Wet strands of hair clung to the girl's forehead as she looked up at her father with a bitter glare. "You don't care what happens to me, do you?" Impulsively, he slapped her face. Maria's cheek turned red, tears welled up in her eyes. Osawa's anger transformed abruptly into guilt. He gazed down at the palm of his hand and saw a tiny spot of blood. He was shocked by the recognition of what he'd just done. Then he was afraid. Afraid that his daughter could bring such raw emotion out of him and make him do something so thoughtless. "Is something wrong, Mr. Osawa?" Kajiwara was leading in, looking concerned. Osawa came back into the moment with a start and realized he had buried his face in his hands. "No," he muttered, looking up. "Just getting angry, yelling at people. Not good with that sort of thing. I don't like it." He picked up the music player and fidgeted with the earbuds as he spoke. "Well, getting angry and yelling at people, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's just human." "It's human to do those kinds of things?" AI often said that he was cold and mechanical. Her sarcasm only underlined a fact he'd always lived with, that he didn't know how to conduct himself like a human being. "If you get angry, you show it," Kajiwara said. "If you get sad, you show it. It's human nature to let other people know how we're feeling after all. But what if doing that hurts the other person? That's when you apologize, sir." Ah, it occurred to Osawa that he'd never tried to tell anyone how he felt before. He never felt he needed to. And yet, right now, he suddenly felt that if his daughters were to appear before him, he might blurt out everything he's ever left unsaid. It was a terrifying thought. "Darling?" AI opened the door and stepped into the room. "The detectives are asking for you. Seems there's been a development." "We'll be right there." Osawa and Kajiwara hurried out of the room. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching. My name is Raven from the Sky. If you enjoyed the episode, do me a favor and drop a like and subscribe to the channel and the series grow. Take care. I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Peace.